Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm really sorry that I haven't been able to upload for the last couple of weeks. Thankfully though, I think it's all fixed and we're back to normal. So yeah, really sorry about that. But thankfully I'm coming back today with a book haul. It's part 3 of my big book haul which I've been catching up on. I've got some that when I went to a meetup with some of my booktube friends I bought, some that I bought with the lovely Angelica, a couple that I had for my birthday, some I bought myself, and a couple that publishers have sent to me. Yeah, not many in this book haul, but that's fine. It means I can get a little bit more in depth with you, so let's just get straight into it. So the first pile that I'm going to talk about is 2 that I actually received for my birthday. So the first one was given to me by my lovely boyfriend Dean, and that was The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie by Alan Bradley. We've been looking at this for quite a while. This is a murder mystery. It's a big series. There are loads and loads of books. I think there must be over 20 at least. And it's about a girl called Flavia who is 11 years old, and she is a master poisoner. And this says, England 1950, at Buckshaw, the crumbling country seat of the Deluse family, very nearly 11-year-old Flavia is plotting revenge on her older sisters. Then a dead bird is left on the doorstep, which has an extraordinary effect on Flavia's eccentric father, and a body is found in the garden. As the police descend on Buckshaw, Flavia decides to do some investigating of her own. I'm a huge fan of when this happens in stories when there is a child narrator, especially when it's crime, because I always think they're really interesting. And I'm really looking forward to getting to this, so thank you very much for this, Dean, and I shall be getting to this really soon. My phone is ringing, bear with me. And the other one that I had for my birthday was The Last Animal by Abby Genai. I think is how you pronounce her last name, and this is a short story collection. I think I saw this on Mercedes' channel quite a while ago. This is a remarkable series of stories around one theme: people who use the interface between the human and natural world to contend with their challenges in love, loss and family life, as it underscores the connection among all living things. This seems really interesting. I hope it's quite sciencey and technical. Thank you to my family for picking this up for me, because I've been wanting this for quite a while, and I'm pretty sure Mercedes really enjoyed this. The next ones that I'm going to talk about are all from when some of my friends were honorary booksellers at a wonderful bookshop called Liberia. I went with Angelica and we had a wonderful day, but we went and stayed with them for quite a few hours, and some of them convinced me to buy the books that they were recommending, so I ended up with quite a few books. So the first one was recommended to me by the wonderful Lena, and that is Sarah Knight's The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck. I am so terrible at not giving a fuck. I care about everything all the time, and people's opinions of me and how they are affect me more than how I am with myself, and that's not a healthy way to live a life in my opinion. So I think I need this book to sort of help me out, and it's got some really funny, interesting ways of dealing with it, so I shall be reading this. I'll let you know how I get on with this, but it sounds silly and wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to it. Next was one of Jean's selections, and this really surprised me that I ended up buying it, because poetry is not something that I read pretty much ever. I studied it at A level, and then after that I don't think I've actually picked up a poem for my own personal enjoyment, so I really need to get back into poetry, and this is going to be a really great starting block. This is Hold Your Own by Kate Tempest. Kate Tempest is a wonderful lady, a rap artist and a fantastic poet, and I've actually already read this collection, so I'll be reviewing it at the end of November. Are we in November? Yes, that will be soon. I'm losing the track of the days. This is absolutely fantastic. If you've got any poetry recommendations that you think I would enjoy, please leave them down below, because I'm really looking into building my poetry collection based on this. This is absolutely fantastic, and if you like poetry but haven't read any Kate Tempest, I would definitely recommend you go and pick this up. Next I picked up Lauren's pick, which was The Blazing World by Siri Hustvedt. I think is how you say that. This sounds really interesting. This is about the character of Harriet Burden. So what this character decides to do is she hides her identity between 3 male fronts in a series of exhibitions, and the success that they gain is significantly more than her own work under her own name. Then her collaborator meets a bizarre end. I really like books about the art world. I think I'm going to really enjoy this, and it sounds really interesting, a good thriller. Really looking forward to this, so thank you Lauren for this as well. Something else that I picked up that was on the table but was not actually anybody's recommendations was a short story collection by Kelly Link, and it is Get in Trouble. Loads of people have recommended Kelly Link to me down below, so I decided to pick one up. This one just says, it rummages in the cupboards of our psyches and pulls out fierce truths about everything from essence of ghosts to the nature of love, and hurricanes, astronauts, evil twins, bootleggers, Ouija boards, iguanas, the Wizard of Oz, superheroes, the pyramids, strange, dark and wry, the stories in Get in Trouble stretch the boundaries of the human imagination. So I know I'm going to like that. And I absolutely love this cover with the upside down house. I think that's really, really cool. So yeah, again, really looking forward to getting to this too. I mean, I could say that for all of them because why would I have bought them if not? Something else that I picked up, I think the day after, was something I've been looking at for quite a while. And this is The Death House by Sarah Pinborough. This sounds really mad, but the concept is so interesting to me that I just had to pick it up. So I will read you the blurb on the back because that is exactly what sold me. Toby's life was perfectly normal until it was unravelled by something as simple as a blood test. Taken from his family, Toby now lives in the Death House, an out-of-time existence far from the modern world, where he and the others who live there are studied by matron and their team of nurses. They're looking for any sign of sickness, any sign of the charges changing, any sign that it's time to take them to the sanatorium. No one returns from the sanatorium. Withdrawn from his housemates and living in memories of the past, Toby spends his days fighting his fear and wondering how much time he has left. But then a new arrival in the house shatters the fragile peace and everything changes. Because everybody dies, it's how you choose to live that counts. Again, another child narrator. I'm really interested in child narrators. I find them so fascinating, unreliable or not. I think they're really, really interesting. And again, they sound so good. Yeah, I really want to get to this really soon. So we'll have to wait and see on this one. So last Thursday, the wonderful Angelica, I'll leave her link to her channel down below. Definitely go and subscribe if you haven't already. She makes absolutely fantastic videos. I met up with her in Birmingham. She came down to see me, so I showed her all the sights of Birmingham and we went to the lovely Foyles and Waterstones here. And of course I had to pick up quite a few books, so I will show you those now. So the first one that I picked up is Fine, 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 Fine by Diane Williams. I haven't heard of this before, but I absolutely love the cover. It's so beautiful. This is a very short story collection, flash fiction I suppose you could say. These are all about family life and relationships and sexuality and being a woman, told from many different perspectives, and some of them are only a sentence long and some of them are a couple of pages. So I read a couple in the shop and I really, really enjoyed these. Very similar to this is also Can't and Won't by Lydia Davis. This is something that Angelica recommended to me as soon as she saw it in the shop. She said I needed to buy it because I've never read any of Lydia Davis's work, and obviously I love short stories, so another one to add to the collection. Again, this is almost like flash fiction. Some of them are literally 5 words long and some of them might be a bit longer, a couple of pages. So the next book, and the one that I'm currently reading, is Diary of an Oxygen Thief by Anonymous. I think it's quite unusual to have an Anonymous in this day and age. I think this was published in 2006. I'm reading this at the moment and this is really quite intense. It's very disturbing. It's told from a disgusting man's opinion of how he treats women and how he really enjoys breaking up with them and leaving them and insulting them. He loves breaking them down but not necessarily building them back up. He loves sex and drinking and smoking and drugs. It's really quite intense at the moment. I'm really, really enjoying it at the moment, albeit it is very disturbing and difficult to read from a feminist point of view. But that's the point, you're supposed to challenge yourself, so yeah, it's really good. From this little bit of the book haul, I picked up a play collection, something a little bit different for me, but this is 1 Million Tiny Plays About Britain, and it's such an interesting concept for a little play anthology. So each day, each play is described with a number. This is play number 46, and it is a young daughter sits next to her father in first class on a train to Birmingham. Huh, how convenient that I picked that one out. I didn't mean to, but it's just little interactions that happen in Britain. Very British, very cosy, and a really interesting read. I haven't read a play for a long, long time, so I'll be really looking forward to getting to this soon. I can dip in and out of this when I want to. The last 2 books I want to show you I've received from publishers. The first 2 I requested and the last one was sent to me. So the first one is the beautiful cover of The Power by Naomi Alderman. This is already out now, but I think when I received this it wasn't quite released, and this is by Viking at Penguin, and it sounds really, really exciting. Suddenly, tomorrow or the day after, girls find that with a flick of their fingers they can inflict agonising pain and even death. With this single twist, the 4 lives of the heart of Naomi Alderman's extraordinary visceral novel are utterly transformed, and we look at the world in an entirely new light. What if the power were in women's hands? Yeah, I know, it sounds so good and I can't wait to start on this one. So the second one is from Polygon, and this is Beneath the Skin by Sarah Ireland. So the blurb of this is, taking a job in the studio of an Edinburgh taxidermist is probably not Walt's wisest move. Already suffering from combat stress and struggling to outrun the horrors of time and on the front line, he finds himself confronted by the undead on a daily basis. His boss Alice and her sister Mouse are sharing a secret that is threatening to destroy them. When Mouse's 8-year-old son disappears, Walt find the strength for one more battle and finally lay the past to rest? So that sounds absolutely excellent. I love stories about post-war and people recovering from war, and also taxidermist is a really interesting concept. Just thinking about this now, my very last book, I think I've shown before, it is Prodigals by Greg Jackson, which was very kindly sent to me from Granta. I think I might have mentioned this in my last book haul, so I'm really sorry if I did, but I have actually started to read it, so at least I can give you a bit of a review. This is a coming of age and adolescent and sexuality and drugs and all that sort of thing short story collection. I've read the first 3 stories in this and I've really enjoyed them so far. They're quite gritty and realistic, which is what I like to see. I think it's always a little bit of a problem when the reality of growing up and being a teenager is sort of skimmed over or sort of romanticised or completely the opposite. You know, it's not quite genuine. So I'm really enjoying this, so if you see this around I would definitely recommend you go and pick it up, but I will give you a full review at the end of November. And I think that is everything that I have to show you. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me through these last couple of weeks. I'm really sorry that I haven't been able to film. Now my camera's all finished and sorted, I can now get back to filming. I did mention on my Twitter that I am going to be filming a how to start booktube video, or maybe a couple of videos, make it a series. I've been on booktube for 6 months now, so happy 6-month anniversary to me. I've done incredible in that time in my opinion. I have a wonderful audience watching me and made some absolutely fantastic friends, and I'm so thankful and grateful to every single one of you who sits down and watches my videos. So thank you all so much, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!